What's up everybody, this is Ven, bringing you another MOC Spotlight where we take apart what you build. For today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Sauron the Great, created and posted to our message boards by Dominato Space. Now of course, before we get started, let me remind you of my method of reviewing, which involves a point system that is based on three fundamental attributes: the overall appearance of the MOC, the build of the MOC itself, and the concept and ideas behind the MOC's creation. Each quality will amount up to 5 points, leading up to a final score that will be determined at the end of the episode. And please remember that this is all based on my opinion, so let's get this started. Dang, I'm not sure what it is, but lately I've been seeing a lot of MOCs with really cool custom built heads, cause this just looks great. It really captures what the builder is going for, and there's a good bit of detail to be appreciated here, most of which is made up of these small minifig weapons and stuff, thus making it the first thing that caught my eye instantly. However, I don't think I feel as strongly when it comes to the rest of the MOC. It does look pretty okay, and it's got a little bit of character, being this tall, dark, and rather menacing character, as he should be. I mean, it is no secret that the MOC is supposed to be Sauron from the Lord of the Rings series, and it does without a shadow of shadow of doubt, look like him, but you can clearly see that there's room for more detail, because otherwise this MOC doesn't really have much going for it in terms of aesthetic. There is nothing else that really sticks out to me as much as the head does, nowhere near competition, because unlike the head, the rest of the MOC seems very simplistic, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but in this case it does make the MOC seem very bland, especially with such a monotonous color scheme and lack of any real defining features. The shoulder armor is pretty unique, and so is this long black cape. It definitely works, but then that's about it. Also, is it just me or do the arms appear a bit short? And then there's the mace, which also looks a little underwhelming. And okay, I get it. The armor on this guy is supposed to be plated kind of like knight's armor, but this, I don't know, I feel like this could have been done a lot more creatively. And it's funny, because speaking of creativity, the dude actually put a good bit of work into the build of the MOC's torso. You can see here that there's some really thoughtful engineering with these various Technic parts, just to keep the MOC stable while also looking pretty decent. And then, oh, what's this? Holy crap. Red axles. They stick out so much. Heck, he even threw in waist articulation. That's crazy, because I really do not see that all too often. And then of course the figure maintains all other standard points of articulation. So thus far, the construction of this MOC is definitely where it shines best. Though I do kind of wish this amount of effort put into the torso was also put into the limbs as well, because with both the arms and the legs, but mostly the arms, we have a very simplistic usage of CCBS. And yeah, sure it does the job, but it kind of holds the MOC back a little bit from looking better than it does. Now I do think it would have been cool if this MOC had a function where you could swing around the mace or something. Oh no, it might be just me. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the concept behind this MOC was to recreate Sauron, the big bad dude from Lord of the Rings and stuff. And I'll say right now, that goal was definitely achieved. You know, I instantly recognized what I was looking at, especially with the design of the head carrying over the defining characteristics of the actual helmet. It may not be totally accurate, but it's still really well done. And again, my only real big complaint that I would have about this MOC is just the lack of detail. You know, like I wish the whole MOC had the same attention to detail as the head, because, well, not only is it inconsistent, but it just looks too simple. I mean, Sauron's armor is not this plain. It's got a complex plated texture to it all, and the builder definitely had the right idea when he was using these pieces for the upper shoulder armor and the armor covering up the shins. You know, it definitely has the right look, but there's just not enough of it. And in terms of accuracy, the shoulder armor is a bit off as well. If I were in this position, I personally would not limit myself to using CCBS for the rest of the body, because it is definitely a good medium and the builder uses it well, but it's not really enough to truly convey what we're trying to make here. At least not with the way that he used it, because it came out looking too simple. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on that matter, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. Go over the final scores, and yeah, let's move on, shall we? In terms of appearance, this MOC receives 3.5 out of 5. Ignoring the fact that the MOC is based on Sauron, what we have here is a little bit boring. It's by no means bad, and it's got a really cool looking head, but it comes out looking like a very plain and very typical CCBS build. And acknowledging that it is supposed to be Sauron, the color scheme can be forgiven, the lack of detail, not so much. In terms of the build, this MOC receives a 4 out of 5. I'm impressed with how the builder managed to put together this head and the torso all out of these smaller elements, and all in all we do have a nice solid build. However, I do wish he got a little bit creative putting together the limbs because they are really simple constructions, not much I can praise here. And in terms of the concept, this MOC receives a 4 out of 5. The builder's intentions are very much evident, and I find that the MOC is easily recognizable as Sauron, put together quite nicely in such a sturdy build. However, again, big complaint, lack of detail, which would go hand in hand with lack of accuracy. And with all that said, let's wrap this all up with our final score, which all adds up to 11.5 out of 15. It is a decent MOC, however I do see some untapped potential here that pretty much just started and stopped with the head. And I think the build of the head and the body definitely show that you, my friend, have a knack for building with Lego. Next time around, don't hold back. And hey, at the end of the day, you still made it onto the MOC Spotlight, so congratulations, Dominato Space. I do hope to see more out of you. And same goes for you viewers. Please, if you haven't considered this already, post your own LEGO creations to our message boards at board.ttvchannel.com under the LEGO creations category, of course, because that is my go-to place to pick out MOCs for the MOC Spotlight. So if you want a chance to have your MOC featured on here someday, all you gotta do is post there and wait, and I'll try to keep up as best I can. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.